Imagine a currency so powerful it was used for thousands of years, from Africa to Asia, and even in the Americas. What was this mysterious money, and how did it shape the course of human history? Today, we're going to uncover the secrets of the world's earliest currencies. And we start with a shell that became a symbol of wealth and power. In the heart of Africa, where the savannas stretch as far as the eye can see, there's a story of a small, pearly mollusk that was about to change the course of human history. The Cowrie shell, with its delicate, swirling patterns, was the first widely accepted currency in Africa. Used for trade and as a unit of exchange, these shells were highly valued for their beauty, rarity, and durability. But why were cowrie shells so special? To understand that, let's take a journey through time, to a place where the ancient Egyptians, Nubians, and African coastal societies once thrived. Archaeologists have found evidence of cowrie shells being used as currency dating back over 3,000 years. That's even before the ancient Egyptians built the pyramids. These shells were not just any ordinary shells. They were prized for their unique characteristics, their smooth, pearly surface, their delicate patterns, and their ability to withstand the test of time. As a result, cowrie shells became a symbol of wealth, status, and power. People were willing to trade valuable goods like gold, ivory, and even slaves for just a handful of these shells. One of the most fascinating stories of cowrie shells comes from the ancient kingdom of Nubia, where the shells were used as a form of taxation. The Nubian rulers used cowrie shells to collect taxes from their subjects, and in return, they provided protection and stability. This system worked so well that it lasted for centuries, until the arrival of the Arab conquerors. But cowrie shells weren't just limited to Africa. They were also used in Asia, where they became a staple of trade and commerce. In China, cowrie shells were used as a form of currency during the Han Dynasty, while in India, they were used as a form of taxation. The use of cowrie shells even spread to the Americas, where they were used by the ancient Maya civilization. So, how did cowrie shells become so powerful? The answer lies in their unique combination of beauty, rarity, and durability. As a store of value, cowrie shells were ideal. They didn't corrode, they didn't break easily, and they were easy to carry and store. But what made them even more special was the meaning people attached to them. In many African cultures, cowrie shells were believed to have spiritual significance. They were seen as a symbol of fertility, prosperity, and good fortune. As a result, people were willing to part with their most valuable possessions in exchange for just a few of these shells. This emotional attachment to cowrie shells is a powerful reminder of the role that value and meaning play in shaping our economies. As we continue our journey through the world's earliest currencies, we'll explore more fascinating stories of how beauty and belief shaped value. From the rice stones of Micronesia to the salt bars of ancient China, we'll uncover the secrets of how these early currencies impacted the course of human history. But for now, let's take a moment to reflect on the cowrie shell, a small, pearly mollusk that became a symbol of wealth and power. Its story is a reminder that value is not just about economics. It's also about the meaning we attach to things. And it's this meaning that has shaped the course of human history, from Africa to Asia, and even in the Americas. As we move forward, we'll continue to explore the intricate web of relationships between value, beauty, and belief. We'll examine how these early currencies impacted the course of human history, and how they continue to shape our economies today. But for now, let's take a moment to appreciate the cowrie shell, a small, yet powerful, piece of history that reminds us of the importance of meaning in shaping our world. As we traveled from the cowrie shells of Africa to the Pacific, we find ourselves on a remote island, where the Micronesian people created a currency that would defy metal. From the 12th to the 18th century, the rice stones were the lifeblood of the Micronesian economy, a symbol of power, beauty, and value. The rice stones were not just any stones. They were carefully crafted from limestone, polished to perfection and adorned with intricate designs that reflected the islanders' rich cultural heritage. These stones were not only a unit of exchange but also a store of value, with some stones valued at thousands of Micronesian dollars. The islanders used these stones to facilitate trade and social exchange between communities, ensuring that everyone had access to the goods and services they needed. But what made the Rai stones so special? It was not just their beauty, but also their significance. The stones were imbued with spiritual meaning, representing the connection between the islanders and their gods. They believed that the stones held the power to bring prosperity, protect their communities, and ensure a bountiful harvest. This spiritual significance gave the Rai stones an added value, making them more than just a medium of exchange. As we delve deeper into the world of the Rai stones, we find that they played a crucial role in the Micronesian economy. Trade and commerce flourished, with the stones serving as a common language that bridged the gap between island communities. The stones facilitated the exchange of goods, such as fish, shellfish, and other essential commodities, ensuring that everyone had access to what they needed. But the Rai stones were not just used for trade. They also played a significant role in social exchange. They were used as gifts to mark important life events, such as weddings and funerals, and as a symbol of respect and admiration between individuals. The stones represented the islanders' values of reciprocity, generosity, and respect, which were essential to their social fabric. The Rai stones' impact on the Micronesian economy cannot be overstated. They facilitated trade and commerce, promoted social exchange, and gave the islanders a sense of identity and community. The stones were a testament to the islanders' ingenuity, creativity, and resourcefulness. They showed that even in the most remote and isolated communities, people can create value and meaning from the simplest of objects. As we reflect on the Rai stones, we are reminded that value is not just about the physical properties of an object. It's also about the meaning and significance that people assign to it. The Rai stones' value was not just in their beauty or utility, but in the stories, memories, and emotions they evoked. This understanding of value is essential to our modern world, where we are constantly creating and assigning value to new objects, ideas, and experiences. As we continue our journey through the world's earliest currencies, we are left with a profound question. What makes something valuable? Is it its physical properties, its beauty, or its spiritual significance? The Rai stones offer a unique perspective on this question, reminding us that value is a complex and multifaceted concept that cannot be reduced to a single definition. But what made these early currencies so powerful? Was it their beauty, their rarity, or something more? Let's explore the fascinating story of how meaning and belief shaped the value of these early currencies. The Cowrie shells of Africa and the Rai stones of Micronesia were not just valued for their physical properties, but also for the cultural and social meaning they held. In many ancient societies, these shells and stones were more than just a medium of exchange. They were a symbol of status, power, and spirituality. The value of these early currencies was deeply intertwined with the stories and myths that surrounded them. Take, for example, the cowrie shells used in ancient Africa. These delicate, spiral-shaped shells were not just prized for their beauty, but also for their association with the goddess of fertility and abundance. In many cultures, the cowrie shell was seen as a representation of the divine feminine, a symbol of the cycles of life and death. As a result, these shells became a powerful currency, not just because of their rarity, but also because of the spiritual significance they held. Similarly, the Rai stones of Micronesia were not just valued for their hardness and durability, but also for their association with the ancestors and the spirits of the land. These massive stones were believed to hold the power of the gods, and as a result, they were used in rituals and ceremonies to ensure the fertility of the land and the prosperity of the people. The value of these stones was not just based on their physical properties, but also on the spiritual significance they held in the eyes of the Micronesian people. But what does this tell us about human nature? Why is it that we assign value to objects based not just on their material worth, but also on the stories and symbols we create around them? The story of early currencies reveals a deeper truth about ourselves, that our values and meanings are often tied to the stories and symbols we create. We give meaning to objects, not just because of their physical properties, but also because of the roles they play in our lives and the stories we tell about them. This is a lesson that is just as relevant today as it was in the past. As we use money to facilitate trade and social exchange, we often forget the deeper meaning and significance that lies behind it. But the story of early currencies reminds us that value is not just a matter of material worth, but also of meaning and belief. It's a reminder that the objects we use and the currencies we trade are not just tools, but also symbols of our values and our stories. Today, we use money to buy and sell goods and services, but the story of early currencies invites us to think deeper about the value we place on these objects. What do we value most, the material worth of an object, or the meaning and significance we assign to it? Join the conversation. What do you think about the role of meaning and belief in shaping our values and currencies? Share your thoughts in the comments below. In the vast expanse of human history, currency has evolved from a simple bartering system to complex digital transactions. Yet, as we delve into the world's earliest currencies, we find that the foundation of value lies not in metal, but in meaning. The Cowrie shells of Africa and the rye stones of Micronesia may seem like distant relics, but their significance extends far beyond their physical appearance. Consider the Cowrie shells, for instance. These small, pearly treasures were once a staple of African economies, traded extensively across the continent. But what made them valuable? Was it their rarity or their beauty? The answer lies in their symbolism. In many African cultures, the cowrie shell represented fertility, abundance, and prosperity. Its value was tied to the stories and myths surrounding it, imbuing it with a spiritual significance that transcended its material worth. Similarly, the rye stones of Micronesia were not just valued for their rarity or durability. They were seen as a symbol of the islanders' connection to the sea and their ancestors. The stones were often used in rituals and ceremonies, and their value was tied to the stories and legends surrounding them. This blurring of the lines between physical and spiritual value is a theme that runs throughout the history of early currencies. As we explore the world's earliest currencies, we begin to see a pattern emerge. The value of these early currencies wasn't just tied to their physical properties, but to the stories, myths, and legends surrounding them. This raises an important question. What is the true nature of value? Is it something that can be measured and quantified, or is it something more intangible? The answer lies in the stories of the cowrie shells and the rye stones, and the people who gave them meaning.